Good morning, my dear students. Good morning, one and all. Welcome to the first lecture of the course. The topic name is what management coaching and manager training are and why they are so valuable. Okay, first we need to discuss about the creating a culture of high performance through coaching. Executives can change how they manage talent today with coaching, and several studies have shown how much interventions have helped leaders. Basically, coaching helps you improve your thinking process so you can achieve your goals and solve your dilemmas. And coaches have helped organizations improve their leaders' thinking time and time again. Research shows that these interventions have benefited leaders. The organizations can't run just by effective thinking in the age of volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. The short code is VUCA. And every day managers to think that affect the reputation and the profitability of their organization as well as the motivation of their team. Through the Glassdoors and the Quaras of the world, employee experience is starting to reach the talent market. That's why the feedback from customers is rampant on social networking sites, and they are not just talking about leadership but also about the organizational dynamics. In such a scenario, a smart companies start coaching their seasoned executives. As a trained executive, you could use your coaching skills to manage talent better. The executives become more effective and result oriented with management skills development training here. Okay, the next one is we need to talk about the using coaching in performance appraisals. I hear a lot from different organization employees about how they don't respect performance management because every year they get a labeled rating based mainly on how well they get along with their managers, because the managers' biases still play a big role in the process even though some organizations don't have a bell curves. In order to stop these problems in their tracks, you need to make the whole process as objective as possible. That's why the managers who are skilled at coaching will find setting goals and giving feedback easier. The next will be on get your goals right. Yes, you are halfway there if you do this right. A lot of energy needs to be invested in setting this right, not just ticking thing off. In the situation, you could help your team think more clearly about their key objectives and prioritize them. So you just to focus on your get your goals right. And next will be on making feedback a regular thing, because the performance management relies on this. You can track your team's progress toward their goals more effectively if you coach them, and it would be easier to provide a constructive feedback, and there would be a more transparency and a trust between team members, because the feedback would also be available to your team instantly, and millennial workers need instant feedback, which has been talked about a lot. The next will be on coaches can help you get better at what you do. A coach can sharpen a high performer's sword and make it more battle ready. Because the coaches, this is where you should invest your time. This is the right people to focus on. If you are planning to coach, it's all about finding them and spending time with them. The next one is we need to discuss about the talking about tough stuff and with the coaching process. The job of team leaders is not easy, exactly, because a manager's charter includes a lot of difficult conversations, from team conflicts to individual problems. So, be it personal or professional, you could use your coaching skills to keep people focused. Although sharing personal experiences helps, because the coaching is one of the most effective ways to deal with such situations. And managing people more efficiently and serving your clients better are both benefits of coaching, because the coaching of these scale can be expensive. So organizations should develop managers as coaches so that their people's processes have life. The next will be on a manager's responsibilities. No manager just wanders out and performs his duties randomly, because the managers need to be able to do just 5 basic things to do and plan, organize a staff, lead and control. We need to discuss one by one. Number one is make a plan. It's about figuring out how to accomplish something. The company's goal might be to increase the sales. For example, a manager has to figure out what steps to take first. These steps might include more advertising, inventory, and salespeople. A plan is developed to take these steps. That's why the managers can follow the plan to improve sales once it's in place here. The second process will be on how to organize here. Because organize your team and materials according to your plan. Once you have your plan in place, in organizing, you have to assign work and give authority here. The next will be on recruiting process. So once a manager figures out what his area needs, he or she can recruit, select, train, and develop more people. To accomplish this, a manager usually works with the company's HR department. The next process will be on being a leader. The management is not just about planning, organizing, and staffing. Furthermore, she or he has to do it, and motivation, communication, guidance, and encouragement are all part of leading here. A manager needs to coach, assist, and solve problems with their employees. The final process will be on taking control. So once everything else is in place, a manager's job is not done. In order to keep his area plans on track, he or she needs to keep checking results against the goals. So these are the all function managers perform at all levels in every company, but how much time they spend on them depends on their level of management and their company. The next we need to talk about the manager's duties. It's a very important you have to discuss now. It's a manager's job to wear many hats. Managers are not just team leaders. They are planners, organizers, cheerleaders, coaches, problem solvers, and decision makers too. Those are just a few of the tasks a manager performs. Additionally, managers have packed schedules because whether they are busy with the employee meetings and unexpected problems or strategy sessions, because the managers rarely have a spare time, and that's not even including answering email here. So, as Henry Mintzberg explains in The Nature of Managerial Work, a manager fills 10 roles. There are three kinds of roles we need to discuss now: interpersonal, informational, and decisional. Interpersonal means this role requires interaction with people. Informational means sharing and analyzing information is part of this role. Decisional means this role involves making decisions. So there aren't many managers out there. Helping other employees become more productive requires certain skills such as translating knowledge into action. Here are some of these skills we need to discuss now. The number one is the technical staff. So according to the technical staff, in order to perform this skill, you need to have a special knowledge or expertise. Technical skills are imperative for accountants, engineers, market researchers, and computer scientists. At the beginning, a manager learned these skills through formal education, and then they develop them through training and experience here. Lower level managers need technical skills too. Next will be on the proper human being. The skills assess that you are good at cooperating with others. It's very important because the human skills come from trust, enthusiasm, and genuine involvement in interpersonal relationships. So company human skills require being self-aware and empathizing with others. There are some managers who are born with the superior human skills, and there are others who learn those skills through classes or experiences. It doesn't matter how you learn human skills. They are essential for managers because management is highly interpersonal. The next will be on its conceptual and analytical things, and analytical thinking is required for this skill here because the managers need analytical skills to break down the problems into smaller parts, see how they relate to each other, and understand what each problem means for others. And managers face more ambiguous problems as their responsibilities arise in organization. So once again, managers can get these skills through formal education, then develop them through training and experience process. That's why the conceptual skills are more relevant at higher levels of management. So there are the skills essential for managers in all three categories, but their relative importance varies with the managerial responsibility. And education in business and management is increasingly focused on acquiring technical, human, and conceptual skills and developing a specific competencies or specialized skills that contribute to high performance, which I have explained on earlier. That's why the concept here need to be understood. The number one is leadership, so being able to influence other people, and the ability to evaluate yourself realistically. It means self-objectivity process, and thinking analytically means the interpreting and explaining patterns. Ability to modify the behavior in order to accomplish organization goals like objectively rather than subjectively. Communicate clearly in words. It's a oral communication will be the better option. Having the ability to express yourself clearly in writing more. Instilling confidence into creating a positive impression will be the better option. Stress resistance, you have to give a major importance because ability to cope with the stress. Next will be on uncertainty tolerance, its ability to deal with ambiguity. The coaches can improve their management skills, which is one of the most significant benefits because effective management skills are a lot like coaching skills. Coaches need to have these things. Number one is concentrate and focusing on the proteges goals keep this coach and the protege on track by using a solid process and clarifying the questions. A coach keeps the protege on track in coaching sessions here. Second will be on be mindful or present. There are no distractions when the coach is there. They will get more results if you give the protege more attention. Next will be on relationship or trust. Trust between the coach and protege grows as the coaching relationship deepens and develop trust over time by creating a safe environment for open dialogue. Next will be on keep it confidential. So all conversations and informations are kept confidential by the coach. So next process will be on listen actively. So coaching is about listening more than talking. It's the protege turn to talk. Next will be on its intuition. So to access the protege's mood or environment, the compassionate coaches uses all his senses. In some cases, a coach has to rely on intuitions instead of logical reasoning. The next will be on a curious mind. There is something about the curious that drives them to seek out a deeper knowledge. In the end, you see breakthroughs in thinking or behavior when you ask through and sensitive questions here. The next will be on the ability to judge well without being judgmental. So, when helping proteges work through challenges, the coach uses a sound judgment and stays non-judgmental. Next will be on take your time. It takes time for a behavior to change, so be patient. Each protege work at his one pace. So developing solutions and strategies may take more time for some proteges. So next will be on making things up. So coaches weave together stands of information and sometimes nonsense to create a seamless condensed summary after listening to the protege. 30,000 feet is what some would call it. It's not uncommon for proteges to miss what's right in front of him. That's why the coaches are skilled at pointing this out. And coaches know the proteges is seeing things differently where and when he or she says, I never thought about it that way and I can't believe I never saw it before, they have to conclude. This is the process of you have to just understand about the making things up. And okay, my dear students, I hope you have enjoyed the first introduction session of the topic, like what management coaching and manager training and why they are so valuable. And we have discussed about the using coaching and performance appraisal, getting your goals right, making feedback a regular thing, talking about tough technical stuff with the coaching process, and we have learned about the manager's responsibilities like planning, organizing, staffing, leading and the controlling process, and manager's duties also we have explained on the introduction session. We have learned the interpersonal and informational decision process also we have concluded here, and we have talked about the analytical thinking and communicate clearly in words with the manager process and coaching concepts. Also, we have learned about the coaching skills. Also, we have participate on the specific session. Okay, my dear students, thank you once again, and thank you all. Good morning, my dear students. Good morning, one and all. Welcome to the second lecture of the course. The topic name is Coaching and Training for Managers, Roles and Principles. So the first thing you have to do is understand what coaching is and is not. So according to CNN, coaching is the universal language of learning and change. Here's the background we need to discuss now. There's a difference between coaching and other types of counseling. The coaching is a unique thing, and the training programs can combine management, counseling, mentoring, psychology, and leadership. This is where it gets its inspiration from. Afterwards, they are supposed to help the people to be better their most productive level. So next we need to talk about the training is different from coaching. The learning is promoted by both, but in different ways. The purpose of training is to teach specific skills or knowledge. That's why the coaches facilitate other people's thinking. On the job coaching helps them learn here. Because the most training takes place off-site or in classes more, and coaches and coaching takes place in the office, over the phone, or in the workplace. It's an easy to use process. But the most training is done in groups. A one-on-one coaching is usually the way to go. The program is tailored to the individual, and external consultants or dedicated internal trainers usually deliver training. A manager or an external consultant can coach you. So what's the difference between coaching and mentoring? We need to talk here. They are usually masters or SMEs. It's a subject matter experts in their field. It means a mentor gives advice, and personal experience is what they use as the basis for their advice. To help clients achieve their goals, a coach doesn't need to be an expert in the field. And mentoring lets learners own their goals and processes, because the mentoring provides learners with examples to follow. Coaching is about the learner owning the goal. In the process, the coach plays a big role here. Next, we need to talk about there is no such a thing as a therapy in coaching. We have to understand the process about the therapy and coaching. There is a misconception that life coaching is therapy, because the psychological problems are in the focus of coaching. An accredited coaching program will teach you how to spot this. For people who haven't heard this kind of training, some signs could be like you need to understand the process like, and the past is the main focus of therapy. Managing and coping can be the root of it. The coach focuses on improving a person's development path based on their current situation, empowerment, exploration, and specific solutions from the basis. And when you are referred to therapy, you wonder why. Because the coaching focuses on the present and builds the future. But what about now? Can you tell me how? You have got questions here, and rather than looking for causes of failure, it focuses on what a client can do to get the proper results on that. So what is coaching all about? We need to talk here. And performance can be boosted with coaching. And you will be able to deal with the challenges before they become a big problems. Usually a coaching session is just a conversation. Basically it helps an individual figure out how to solve a problem or accomplish a goal. In reality, people are more likely to engage with the solutions they have come up with themselves than those their manager or boss forces on them, because the coaching is still seen as a corrective tool in some organizations. And there are a lot of companies that use coaching to help people explore their ambitions, despite the fact that the most leaders don't have the skill necessary to coach effectively. Organizations are asking them to do more coaching. The coaching happens when managers give performance review and have meetings. It's just as effective to hire a manager as to hire an external coach. If managers stay within the scope of their skills, and they can be coaches without formal training, keeping a structured approach is key. If they understand what they are doing, and they can add value and develop their people's abilities. The making sure you are laying the right foundation for your people to succeed by following these 14 key principles we need to discuss now. The number one is think about the future. It's a very important we need to discuss now. Clarify what you want them to do in your own mind. You will have a much easier time if you are their manager. Make sure you focus on the end result. Try not to focus on how you think they will get there. Don't forget the big picture here, and what is the impact of their success on the company, and what's going to happen to their personal development goals if they succeed. Your chances of getting buy-in are higher when you are clear. Okay, next will be on a trust is everything. Every relationship starts with a trust, no matter what its nature is. Having an open communication atmosphere is a key here. How much and how fast a coach can build this foundation determines their ability. The manager's day-to-day contact with the employee is the foundation of any coaching relationship. A coaching meeting won't work without some trust. It's imperative for your employees to believe you are there to help them. Next will be on a listening that makes a difference. So coaches and managers need to practice active listening process. Make sure you are listening well to the employee or individual and asking them useful questions. Help them to solve a problem by getting to the root of it. The next will be on a negotiating process. Sometimes it's tough for managers to get their employees to admit their problem. The most common mistake managers make is assuming the employee understands the performance issue here. If you want an employee to acknowledge a performance issue, you have to explain the problem and let them know the consequences if they don't change. Make sure you specify what you intend to do and what you expect to get. Don't assume you are right about when you think. There is a two-way communication process in the coaching session, and employees should explain their interpretations and agree on the nature of the problem. Okay, the next one is we need to discuss about the very important process of curiosity is the key. So get curious about what may be causing the problem instead of just jumping straight into problem solving mode. You will be able to define the problem better. Okay, because ask your coach these questions. Number one is, how do you think this situation came about? What's stopping you from achieving your goal? What keeps you awake at night about the situation? What's holding you back from being the person you want to be? It's really imperative to get to know your employees on at least some personal level before you can have a successful coaching relationship with them. So let me stress, and this is not about getting to know each other outside of work. You can gain valuable insight into the why of someone you support by learning a little bit about them. So coaching involves thinking, and so ask open-ended questions here. Next will be on flexible is the key. It's imperative to remember that everyone has different motivations and communication styles. Understand that everyone learns differently and responds differently to communications. So recognize and understand that. Okay, don't interrupt someone with helpful suggestions if they are slow to speak and answer. For example, it's usually a learning gap for coaches who want to get in there, create results for their employees, and get back sometime in their day, especially when they see the issue without BS. So being flexible isn't about being a pushover. This means you are helping them reach their goals by doing what's necessary. The coaching partnership is also running smoothly because you are maintaining trust, commitment, action, and integrity. The next process will be on set goals and keep them. It's very important because make sure you are clear about what you want to accomplish. Set specific criteria for what the output should look like. Give your employees a model of their end goal. Coaches focus on the culture and the future and make it possible. You can't do this without a timeline. With the pre-scheduled check-in meetings, and you can evaluate how things are progressing along the way as you reach milestones. Indicate how significant the timing may be to the project's success. Actually, I find the SMART goal framework to be an excellent starting point for both the conversation and making sure it's achievable mode. The next process will be on of feedback is appreciated. So just attend your check-in meetings at the agreed upon times as your employees work toward the goal you set. In addition to the process, it's equally significant when they reach their milestones and hit their end goal. So don't be afraid to ask questions. So just thank them for their diligent work and make suggestions if they need more directions. Be curious, be present, listen and revise your goals and yell. Okay, the next will be on a keep your core values in mind, and you should coach your employees or individuals based on your organization's core values. Your support and coaching actions will be motivated by this. As a result, coaching becomes less about you and more about what your company wants. By looking at the bigger picture together, you will get your employees more receptive and they will understand how this impacts both the organization and ultimately their own goals and aspirations. So coaches and developers who know the business case for coaching and developing others can use it more effectively. The next will be on the key to success is collaboration. It's a very important process of the level. In any coaching situation, there should be plenty of opportunity for feedback and discussion. So you are not taking away their responsibility for doing the work. A successful coaching relationship can improve your interactions with your employees and make management much more accessible. A coach isn't the expert and just a sounding board who can reflect back to their people and what they see and hear about their performance. The next process will be on consider all your options. It means consider alternatively solution to the problem you are having with your employee. Your job is to make sure your employees don't come up with broad or vague solutions to existing challenges. It's because you need to hold them accountable for their answers and clearly define what you expect from their performance. So just to set the smart goals with them and help them come up with specific alternatives to make them more likely to succeed. You can contribute your own ideas, but realize they will carry more weight since they are yours. Next process will be on take action mode. So here the promise is not to obtain agreement but to take action to ensure they see the possibilities that may be available. Whatever solution you come up with our roadmap you follow won't matter if you don't get there. If your employee doesn't see it, just get it or experience it, then you need to pause and reset here. There is no way to start off wrong. You can do this too. That's why the coach will be by letting them to know what you can expect from you, like showing up, supporting them, keeping meeting times, and asking them if there's nothing you can do for them. It will show the kind of integrity you are looking for here. The next process will be an explanations. So employees may use excuses to underperform or just shy away from what they don't know or feel is outside of their comfort zone. So keep focusing on the smart goal and the solutions. Without agreeing to anything as a coach, you need to consider the situational factors that may affect their performance. So maintain an open mind, keep an eye out for both the content and the context around what they are sharing. That's the story in the material. Here's where excuses come from, and a coach picks up the subtle cues and clues as to why they are hesitant to move forward from the background. That is the emotional state also we have to consider. The next process will be on taking responsibility. It's your job to make sure your employees understands what you will do if they don't follow through. What should I do if you don't respond, and what can I do to help you get back on track if you don't follow through, and then be sure that you carry through. If you don't model accountability, it sends the wrong message and jeopardizes future coaching solutions. It also taints your employees listening to you, which will prevent further engagement on their end. So that's why the time management falls under this section, since it's about being staying and holding others accountable. We need to discuss. And there are different ways to coach, and depending on your needs, and decide when you are planning to coach. Make sure your employees, individuals, know when they are, and make sure to invite people and follow up if they need it. And whenever you can't commit to session, talk to the employee right away and reschedule. It's a way to the model both accountability and integrity with your words and actions, and ultimately your support for that person. The next will be on pre-light and engagement checklist. It can be used to use this information during coaching engagements. There is a simple reason many trained coaches and managers will complete some kind of training program and later apply the methodology with their people within their department and within their company, because the coaches can use hundreds of different models. Others are redundant while others are more radical. Next will be on discover what works for you and your people and apply it. It's so they improve, because every coaching model won't work for everyone, but you should explore what's available. That take these principles and apply them to your own style. It's all about your what works for you and what fits your company's culture. A few final thoughts will be on coaching people towards their potential is much easier when they see their potential. You won't get optimal performance from a manager who judges people on their past performance. That's why the employees who are engaged and well guided will do better than ones who are poorly managed. It's imperative to coach people if you manage them. The effectiveness and the productivity are determined by the management process. Okay, my dear students, I hope you have enjoyed the second session of the topic coaching and training for managers and roles and principles. We have learned more. Thank you once again, and thank you all. Good morning, my dear students. Good morning, one and all. Welcome to the third session of the topic. The topic name is the most effective way to improve your management skills. So the coaches, specifically for managers and executives, are called management coaches, and improvement of management skill is the goal. Basically, a management coach helps people do better in their management roles. It's about improving management to shape their future. So coaches discuss problems areas and come up with solutions and action plans. While management coaching is often called executive coaching or business coaching, the two are in the same. But the management coaching deals with the company and optimizing management, whereas business coaching promotes a professional and personal development. It's all about improving management skills and strategies. That's why the individual areas of the company are also discussed and developed here. Okay, the next one is we need to discuss about the coaching is what it sounds look like, right? The coaches for managers are called management coaches. Your management role will be easier with it, because the coaching like this is also called leadership coaching or executive coaching. These terms are sometimes used interchangeably. The management coaching is a special kind of training for managers. A leadership coaching program teaches promising employees how to become managers. The next one is we need to discuss about the taking care of business. The main focus of management coaching is planning, leading, and controlling a company and organization or unit here. The following are some aspects of management coaching that help companies manage responsibly. Number one is decide what resources you need. The second will be on plan your strategy. Third will be on management of employees. And fourth will be on different divisions work together. And final will be on enhancing your managerial skills. So using your competence to master difficult situation is what management coaching is all about. In coaching for managers, conflict management and communication are key. Okay, the next one is how does management coaching work? So executives have to meet ever increasing demands. It all depends on how you manage, and every mistake can have a fatal consequences when you are in this position of responsibility. The success of your company depends on you as a manager. The managing the company and supporting your employees are your responsibilities, because employee motivation and performance promotion are your responsibilities. So the workplace can be made more productive by avoiding conflicts that have an unfavorable impact on operations. Specialist and social skills are needed to handle these demanding management tasks. These skills will make you a successful manager. Number one is a professionalism and ability to work methodically, and a competent communicator, or being empathy and thinking strategically and analytically, a decision making and results oriented behavior that reflects conflict. So these are the skills will make you a successful manager process. And the coaches point out potential solution to these core competencies by identifying possible deficits. The number one is, can you tell me what a management coach does? Because the management coaches develop action plan with their clients. Because during management coaching, the initial situation is discussed and the objective is agreed upon. An executive coach helps managers and executives use their competencies fully and strategically so they can become even better in their various fields of expertise. To cooperate successfully within a management coach, you have to understand the actual situation. The next will be on aspects of interpersonal interactions. So, aside from purely operation issues, a management coaching also covers interpersonal aspects and problems that arise every day. In developing a management strategy, all resources are considered because the management coaches plays an advisory role, because the coaches build the coaching measures based on the problem analysis that they prepared at the start of the meeting and the targets they set. You need a competent management coach who is objective, flexible, and guides you toward the solutions process. So what is the goal of management coaching? We need to discuss now. The coaching for management aims at several things at once. Optimizing management skill is always the goal. By using existing potential, these strengths are built and specifically promoted in coaching. Coaches and their clients work out the approach together because the management coaching has the following goals. Number one is leadership and management skills development and expansion, analyzing management tasks from a critical perspective, planning your own management strategy, identifying leadership deficits and improving them, and analysis of management tasks, making the leadership environment better. So these are the management coaching has the following goals we need to follow. In order to achieve goals, the effectiveness of solution approaches and measures is regularly assessed because the strategies can be adjusted if needed. That's why the coaching gives you space to reflect. One can look at one's own situation from different angles in a coaching session. So just recognize connections and identify strengths and weaknesses with a reflective approach. In addition to management coaching, there are other things you should follow. Number one is a reflection on the potential of each individual, clarifying and understanding your role as a manager, communicating better and training, examining the leadership and management behavior based on real life examples. Okay, the next one is we need to discuss about who is a suitable candidate for management coaching, and can you tell me who the target group is? Anyone in a manager position or part of a company's management can benefit from management coaching. So target group also includes the managers who will be taking over management tasks soon. So getting managers to understand the extensive range of management tasks and the responsibilities that follow along with them is key to management coaching. So far, there hasn't been any management training process. It's usually only through coaching that managers can optimize their skills. Everyone who wants to be a manager can benefit from management coaching. You can train and optimize your own development with a management coach. We compare the external and the self images of managerial competence based on an analysis. An individual's development potential determines the exact objective of management coaching process. Next will be on solve problems with the creative solutions. In most cases, managers aren't adequately prepared for professional conflict. Therefore, management coaching as a main job is to help people figure out how to solve problems. And the coaching for managers help yourself. Coaches can't replace the skills managers need, but the management coaching is most popular among upper level and top level executives. That's why the directors and managers of corporate groups, executives of medium-sized companies, and owners and executives of small businesses are the target audience here. That's why the coaching helps managers become better managers. The manager and the company discuss their unique situations during a coaching session. In management coaching, you are getting personal advice, guidance, and goal clarification. The next we need to discuss about what people do and how they react. So one learns about one's own behavior and reaction patterns, as well as unnoticed influences and interrelationships. You can't be trained to be a manager, but you can learn to be a leader. So the management faces major challenges with the pace of innovation and globalization. I know their experience in laws and dealing with the crisis situations are also part of permanent competency. That type of expansion also we need to say here. So coaching can help you improve your professionalism as a manager. So can you tell me how it's different from being a business coach? The terms of business coaching and management coaching are often used interchangeably, but they are different. The business coaches help their customers develop professionally and advance their careers. So managers and executives don't have to be business coaches to benefit. Basically, any working person who wants to take advantage of career opportunities can get help from a business coach. So coaches focus on professional topics and are process oriented. That's why the employees get support and encouragement for their professional development. That's why this kind of coaching is also called vocational coaching. The coaches do these things we need to discuss now, as well as a professional orientation and reorientation process. A business coach helps you set goals and plan for the future, while management coaching helps you improve your leadership skills. As independent, objective consultants and management coaches support managers in achieving their leadership potential. It's critical to have a basic leadership skills before you start management coaching process. There are some key differences between topic and business coaching. Unlike career coaching, management coaching focuses on the management of an organization or a company. In both coaching models, strategies and change processes can be developed based on analyzing the actual situation process. The next will be on what does management coaching cost? The cost vary depending on several factors, and pricing depends on the coaching scope, starting point, and the qualifications and experience of the coach. A management coaching session can last 1 hour or several hours, or it can last several weeks or months. And what is the cost of management coaching? There is also different coaching rates between individuals and group coaching. You can expect to pay about 20 euros or $20 per hour for management coaching. The internet research shows the management coaches charges between 200 and 300 euros per session. Coaches' qualifications and experience will determine the limits here. And make sure you know the cost, and because there are no tariff regulations process, so it makes sense to find out the possible cost. You should ask specifically how much management coaching will cost here. Coaches usually charges per session, and a flat rate management and arrangements are also available in the coaching industry. These aren't as common as you might think, because he or she can't predict how many hours you will need for management coaching because it's individual basis. While sometimes 4 to 5 hours of consulting are enough, more complex issue you need and 10 to 20 sessions. So just to calculate coaching cost with that in mind. The next will be on which management coach is right for you. The coaches also play a big role in whether management coaching is successful, and also management coach can make all the difference. If you want a coach who will support you, you have a couple of options. Look it up on the internet, databases for coaches, journals and newspapers like daily newspapers, personal recommendations from friends and acquaintances. So when you search the internet for management coaching, it's a very easy process. You just check out several management coaches websites before you choosing one. So just describe the services that the coach offers in detail and make sure it's very clear. Take advantages of a non-binding preliminary meeting to get to know the management coach and his coaching style. Coaching starts if you have a chemistry with each other. It's helpful to have a knowledgeable management coach who is responsible to you and supports you as a helping promoting the partner mode. This is the major process. You have to understand which management coach is right for you. You just to consider for the process. Okay, my dear students, I hope you have enjoyed the third session of the topic, like the most effective way to improve your management skills. Thank you once again, and thank you all. Good morning, my dear students. Good morning, one and all. Welcome to the fourth session of the topic. The topic name is what it takes to be a successful manager. So, do you want to make a difference in your workplace? Is it your goal to be a leader that makes a positive impact on your team? No matter how many employees you manage, being a responsible manager comes with a lot of responsibilities. There are some of the top skills successful managers have, like number one is being a leader, experiencing, communicating, having knowledge, organizing, keep track of your time, transfer of power, having confidence, show respect, and culture at work. A successful manager has these qualities. Number one is develop leadership skills. It's imperative to be able to lead your employees efficiently if you want to be an effective manager, because the effective management comes from picturing what you want your leadership to look like. So strategic thinkers see the big picture and notice details others don't. Second will be on a work experience, and it's challenging to set up as a manager if you don't have experiencing in a professional environment. So communicate your goals with your current job so you can get management experience. Some managers, when they know you are looking to set up, will train you through a variety of scenarios to prepare you for upcoming promotions or jobs. Next will be on having superior communication skills. Every competent manager knows how to communicate. And it's not just about communicating responsibilities and expectations. It's about listening to your team and making sure they are getting the results they need. You will be able to figure out where everyone is in their projects if you have a weekly maintaining the meetings with your employees. By doing this, you will build trust with your employees and empower them to be more productive in their workflow. This is because they know they can get help if they need it. Next process of will be on having knowledge. This is a major skill, and manager experience is important, but so is knowledge. Most effective leaders see going back to school as a benefit not only to their professional lives but to their personal ones too. Degrees in business or leadership and project management are available for managers. And the major number of certificates in project management, entrepreneurship, ethics, and human resource management are also available in the business industry. Next process will be on the organization. Your employees won't be organized either if you aren't efficient at your job. There are a lot of resources online that can help you get organized. So buying a planner or downloading and some of the applications on your phone can help you remember meetings, tasks, etc. So next will be how to manage your time. It's also imperative to manage your time well. Getting late every day might make your employees think it's okay to get late too. It's imperative to manage your time so that you can prioritize your day, communicate with your employees, and accomplish goals. Next will be on it's all about the delegation process. You will have a hard time managing if you can't delegate projects and tasks. If you need help with something, don't be afraid to ask. When you do everything yourself, it will add more time to your already busy schedule, and you won't be letting your employees do what they were hired for. The next process will be on having confidence. An effective manager needs confidence in their abilities and experiences and decision making skills. No need to be arrogant or feel like you are better than your employees. Having confidence will empower your team to do their well job. That's why you are in management. Understand? The next process will be on working together with respect. It's a major important process you need to consider, dear students. So being a leader means creating a respectful and healthy work environment for your team. You will definitely have tension in your office if you don't respect your employees. So just taking into account their time and abilities, communicating with them, and being a knowledge and a guidance resource are some things to keep in mind. The final process is another important level, like the culture of the company. The fun part of being a truly remarkable leader is creating a successful company culture. Your employees will appreciate it when you show them how grateful you are. And there are endless ways to strengthen your company culture by offering fun activities throughout the week, like a team building outing after business hours. By doing this, you will not only boost your company culture, but you will increase employee retention as well as put you in the running for high ranking companies. Okay, my dear students, I hope you have enjoyed the fourth session of the topic, what it takes to be a successful manager. Thank you once again, and thank you all. Good morning, my dear students. Good morning, one and all. Welcome to the fifth and final lecture of the course. The topic name is What Managers Need to Know About Coaching versus Managing. An organization ecosystem depends on managers, exactly, because the managers play a more substantial role than just passing information between teams on leadership. So employees look to managers for guidance, a career development, and a moral boost. Managers keep their teams motivated and provide critical information to their leaders. As a result, coaching is very crucial. Actually, in this session, I am planning to explain the difference between the coaching and managing the process. In addition, I would like to share some tactics you can use to help managers coach better. So, we need to discuss about the difference between coaching and managing. Despite being used interchangeably, coaching and management are two different things. A manager's traditional role is to direct and drive employees toward a specific goal. And management includes organizing meetings and keeping track of or direct reports progress and making sure deadlines are met. The goal of coaching is to help people improve their skills and reach new levels. That's why the collaboration is encouraged through this type of partnership. The manager and the direct report discuss what the next step should be for the direct report. The difference between coaching and managing is that coaching is about guiding, whereas managing is about telling. So, what about the coaching? It's the employee coaching, and why it's so necessary. There are many benefits to coaching by helping direct reports and come up with the solutions on their own. You are developing their problem-solving skills. So, having this knowledge gives them the tools to take on more complex projects and advance within the company. As a bonus, the company gets better employee retention and more specific expertise. So, what about the framework for coaching? There are a lot of frameworks to help managers learn coaching basics. To get you started, here are the few of these methods: the GROW model, an Oscar model, and micro learning approach. Also, we need to discuss now. The GROW model means a goal, reality, obstacles, and a way forward. And Oscar model means outcomes, scale, know-how, affirmation and action, and review mode. A micro-learning approach includes the short and daily activities, spaced repetition, and experimental learning. This is the framework for coaching we need to understand. And next will be on what managers need to know about coaching. The primary skill remain consistent regardless of whether you implement a paid or unpaid coaching program. The following 5 tactics will help your organization integrate fundamental coaching principles. We need to discuss one by one. The number one is getting to know each other, where I have explained on a earlier presentation. It's a very important principle we need to consider. It helps clarify people's thinking and helps them take ownership of problems and makes them feel understood, because the employees are empowered when managers switch from solution mode to coaching mode rather than just doing what they are told. So engage your team by asking open questions so they feel more involved in decision making. The second step will be on and make sure you are listening. This is like another principle. Making it possible for reports to steer the conversation means managers can't listen. So make managers listen to their direct reports, avoid distractions, and watch for subtle cues. So just to pay attention to what's being said instead of your inner dialogue. Building deeper connections between manager and their reports will help you and to drive more significant organizational impact. So third principle will be on develop a growth mindset. It's another important principle we need to consider, because the develop a growth mindset within your team by asking questions that focuses on the process. Learn to hold back your opinions and be curious. Everyone will be comfortable learning and exploring in this environment. By sharpening their critical thinking skills, individual contributors will be able to make better decisions with less guidance. Another principle we need to discuss about the make sure you are developing your career. It's imperative for managers to understand their direct reports' career goals and give them projects that will help them reach them. Moreover, they should look for ways to help their reports at once. And managers should schedule regular and one-on-one meetings with their reports to check in on their progress and recognize their accomplishments more. And the fifth and final principle will be on self-employment, and self-improvement is the key mode. Managers can become better coaches by learning and growing themselves. So skills can always be developed to no matter what level you are at. Managers need to constantly look for ways to improve themselves in the ever-changing world of work. It doesn't matter if you start small with micro learning opportunities or tackle a more comprehensive training program, and successful managers should always be learning here. The next is a very important process. The innovation comes from coaching. Exactly. Because your organization will grow and innovate with the coaching mindset. It will get more out of your employees if they are encouraged to come up with their own solutions and ideas instead of just following orders. Training that is digestible and as real life applications is key to supporting successful coaches. You can just build a team of coaches at all levels with the skilled coaches here. This is a process you have to understand about the innovation coaches. Innovation comes from coaching process. Okay, my dear students, I hope you have enjoyed the fifth and final lecture of the course, like what managers need to know about coaching versus managing. And we have learned about the process of innovation process comes from the coaching mode. Okay, my dear students, thank you once again, and thank you all.